Tommy with another best of 5 series in between the two pro players from the South Korean scene. This time we're traveling a little bit back in time, so it's not a recent replay. I believe these games have been played in the Homestory Cup hosted by Take TV. So let me just start by introducing the players to you guys as we have spawning here in the lower right in the pink. It is ZEST. ZEST currently abandoned Starcraft 2 for personal reasons, I believe. Either the army or he just wanted to quit, so I still have to do some research onto that. But yeah, one of the most talented and strongest Protosses there is. And yeah, his opponent spawning here in the upper left in the teal. It is BYUN, also strong Terran, known for his great micro, so also one of the strongest Terrans there is. Both of them from South Korea. As they spawn here on Berlin grade with a nice dock here into this place. So let's have a look at their build order. Looking like the pretty standard stuff here for BYUN. Supply depot into barracks and into his gas. Let's check ZEST really quick. Also pretty standard, even though his pylon and his gateway is quite far out. I believe he's also going to use this pylon just to teleport some units perhaps into this proximity. Not deciding to block the entrance here or the ramp. Just playing very casual here. At the same time, his probe is quite fast out here. He's trying to be annoying against those SCVs. So nice job, nice scouting probe also. Giving him vision here of the expansion point for BYUN. I believe he's also going to prepare his expansion, and let's just see exactly what his options are. Of course, we've seen Hero, one of the strongest Protosses currently there is, go for some harassment against the Terrans. Some adept push could happen. It could also be a blinking stalker strategy. Void rays could also be a possibility, even oracles, carriers. And yeah, when it comes to the Terrans, of course, many Terrans really like to go with their medivacs, with their infantry, stim, marauders, tanks could be an option, legionnaires, and yeah, let's just see exactly what they will opt for as the cybernetic score has finished. So we might see a Stargate really soon here by ZEST. His expansion is also being almost done, and BYUN opting not to go for an expansion. Let's check his main. His factory is about to get finished as he's hiding his starport. So no fast expansion attempts here by BYUN. Straight into factory and swaps it into this one reactor. So we have a double Hellion build order here by BYUN. It might be also a drop possibility here for him in case those medivacs will pop out. Let's just check. ZEST once again nicely hiding here his buildings into this location, and it is indeed a Twilight Council. So we might see an adept push really soon here by ZEST versus BYUN. So it could be a timing push. Let's see, or perhaps he's going to go for a blinking stalker push. There's always two options. He might also add a prism really soon, a war prism, just to have that teleportation capability. And yes, it is a blinking upgrade here. Actually, it's getting chrono boosted out here by ZEST. So another gateway is being built. So very soon, in around a couple of minutes, we might see him go really strong into those stalkers versus BYUN. BYUN moving out with 4 Hellions. This could be really deadly here against ZEST, so exactly why ZEST is preparing a nice wall of here with a gateway and a robotics facility base. So this robo bay, of course, for that war prism. Yeah, the door is pretty much shut now here against BYUN, as the probe is also scouting here the proximity. Of course, both players do know the timer really well. ZEST knows that something should come here towards his base, either some Hellions or perhaps a medivac harassment. Let's see, in come the Hellions. Yeah, the wall off has been completed, so BYUN not quite going to make it here through. So nice job here by ZEST. And yeah, he's just having to snap this one probe. At the same time, a medivac is here into this location, so BYUN was thinking about this as well. Picking up his units. Let's see where exactly he's going to land. Perhaps he's going to snap this one pylon. But no, by the looks of it, he's heading straight towards the economy from ZEST. 2 stalkers get teleported, 2 probes have been killed, even 3. The Hellions are pretty much alive, so nice snapping going on. 7 probes have been killed. The medivac almost also being killed here. Finally, it's falling. So yeah, in the end, 9 probes have been killed, and those Hellions have been cleared here as well. So a medivac and 4 Hellions for 9 kills of those probes. So pretty even trade, but yeah, crippling that economy a little bit here for ZEST. Nice job here by BYUN with his first army move out, as his expansion is also being finished, and he's securing it, of course, with a tank, a Raven here as well. You can also see the production tab in the upper left part, just in case I'm missing something. So yeah, nice job here by BYUN. Early harassment, but ZEST is really strong. into those blinking stalkers. And let's see, does he has a war prism as well? Yes, indeed. So he's blinking forward, he feels confident, knows that BYUN shouldn't be having so many troops, but there is a tank in the back. If he somehow can be able to snap this one tank, but there is infantry protecting it. Also Raven, let's see, he's teleporting, or he wants to teleport some units. Right now he just has to blink out a little bit. And yeah, there is this one prism with an adapt, as he's now coming back with a couple of stalkers, actually massive amounts of stalkers here. Let's see if ZEST can if he snaps this one tank, I believe he could even win the game. He's going for the bunker, interesting enough. Doesn't quite have vision, a nice protection here by BYUN. It's actually 2 tanks. This adapt is going to give a little bit of vision here, so 2 tanks, even 3 tanks now for BYUN. So BYUN defense is being quite strong. And the Raven, of course, to have vision against this one observer. Let's see if ZEST is going to commit here. Pretty tricky, as there's 3 tanks lastly being murdered, but the first tank has been snapped. The second one has fallen here as well. And yeah, the stalkers will get microed a little bit back. BYUN actually has to pull some SCVs here in the front, as the second tank now finally going to come his way out. But so many stalkers have fallen here as well for ZEST, as he's bringing some reinforcements. So nice timing push here by ZEST versus BYUN. He might try to snap this one tank once again, indeed. Going straight for this one tank. The second tank is on the high ground. ZEST tries to snap it, but now he's going to go for the infantry. Some SCVs will fall here as well, 3 SCVs. Now the tank has to come here forward, but ZEST might have another blink. He could first take out this tank and then just blink out of danger. Nice job here by him with micro, and things look actually really well here for ZEST, as he's blinking out of danger and now just snapping SCV after SCV. Actually, he's going for those Marines. Interesting enough, some mules have been called here for BYUN, as he's producing more and more force to defend this. But yes, ZEST looks like it's not being done yet. He's going off for the production tabs for the big labs. And yeah, he might even cancel Steam. This could be huge here for ZEST. So nice job here by him, snapping that. So the Marines and the Marauders not having Steam SCVs once again have to be pulled. But some Zealots will be called here. I believe ZEST really wants to finish this game right now. But there's those 2 tanks in the back. One is getting snapped. 15 SCVs have been snapped here as well, as BYUN is calling everything he has to hold into this great timing push by ZEST. 20 SCVs have been killed, so BYUN dropping to 36. ZEST staying at 45, and still the tank sieges up here, so ZEST has to call, of course, more and more of those reinforcements. Let's see if he's once again going to try to blink here forward and attack. The tank now is actually going for the economy once again. So another SCV has been snapped. He's of course delaying so much mining time here against BYUN, as the tank has to push here forward. And there's another bunker being produced. So yeah, ZEST still roaming around. Very aggressive gameplay here by him, as he's bringing more and more reinforcements. So nice technology here for the Protoss, being able to teleport those units forward into the battle. Let's see, is he going to bring once again here forward to the production tab? It looks like of it. He has vision with that prism. He's going to snap this reactor. There are some tanks in the back, but not that much infantry being left here for BYUN. I believe he could even try to bring here forward. Let's see if this is going to be his option. Tank not in vision of those stalkers. Nice micro, of course, by ZEST. And yeah, the stalkers having now vision from the low ground, but in the meantime there's another tank here, even a turret, and ZEST looks like he's going to retreat, so not feeling quite confident. This reactor might fall. Now there is a SCV repairing it, so ZEST still has to make up his mind. And interesting enough, he is retreating, even though he has more army, he has the advantage. I don't quite understand why exactly he is retreating. He could have even attacked onto 2 fronts with 2 groups of stalkers. Then again, I'm sure he knows better than me. BYUN now feels confident to move out with one medevac, so ZEST looks like he's going to play it quite safe, making another expansion, so he knows, of course, he has the advantage here against BYUN, and he's making that other expansion, even one immortal now, very good unit to have against those tanks, and another server here as well. So let's check where exactly did that medevac go here for BYUN. Just roaming around the map. There's so many observers, actually. It's stalkers here by ZEST, having great vision on the map. And yeah, we are closing at a 10-minute mark, and ZEST feeling, of course, really confident. Worker wise, however, BYUN made it back, even has 1 weapons upgrades. And let's see how things will unfold, as finally they have calmed down a little bit here as more and more tanks have been gathered, and now we even have some marauders here for BYUN. So at the 10-minute mark it is. ZEST once again on the move out, this time with zealots, with immortals, and some upgrades also going out for him. Weapons 1 upgrades, 1 more immortal, once again being chrono boosted out, and in comes the drop attempt here by ZEST with a couple of zealots. I believe he could also teleport some other units, as BYUN is now feeling quite confident to move out into this location. Perhaps he just scanned this location here by ZEST, and yeah, let's see, pretty soon they might meet up. Good position here for BYUN. His siege tanks are on the ramp, on the high ground, and this one medevac also preparing a drop here. Let's be careful with this one. War Prism, he also might try to drop here into this location, so BYUN of course roaming around the map. Same can be said here for ZEST. Both players try of course to hurt each other's economy more, but ZEST playing very passively, all of a sudden not being so aggressive, just roaming around, just securing his expansion points. Knows like he has the advantage, but all of a sudden BYUN does come back. ZEST having more workers than him, but let's see how this is going to unfold as a attack is being prepared here by ZEST towards the expansion points from BYUN, and this one Prism still stays here low. Same can be said here for BYUN, so seems like I told you, have calmed down a little bit. Both players perhaps calculating a little bit what the chances are and where to attack. Stim is being done here for BYUN, so that's very good for him. And yeah, we actually have an upgrade for those Colossi, so very soon we're going to see Colossi versus the infantry for BYUN. There's even an illusion here, so nice job here by ZEST, even trapping those units with a nice force fields. At the same time we do see an unpowering here of this gateway, the Twilight Zone. And yeah, let's see, some Marines will of course take damage from the high ground. The cybernetic score has been sniped, so nice attempt here for BYUN with this one lone medevac being able to unpower those buildings for ZEST. At the same time ZEST all of a sudden playing very defensively, allowing BYUN to come back into this game. BYUN of course also securing his expansion point with his tanks, with his infantry. So let's see when exactly they will decide to move out to attack, as yeah, even a Dark Shrine is being placed, so very soon we're going to see some DTs here being produced by ZEST. One lone marine just to get some scouting against ZEST, but yeah, this army looks really scary. 3 immortals, 1 colossi, more colossi all on the way, of course 2 of them, so ZEST needs of course those colossi against the infantry from BYUN, and finally they will meet in the middle of the map. Let's just see a nice choke point here for BYUN, as he should be able to push ZEST back. Of course those tanks would have been really deadly against the army from ZEST. And yeah, nice scans, good illusion here to have vision, as now BYUN feeling really confident to move out with his marauders, with his tanks in the front. Quite a scary and strong force here by the Terran army, wise BYUN all of a sudden having more supply here than ZEST as he's pushing forward. ZEST however having the better position, he's on the high ground, tanks are nicely spreaded. Yeah, those great range here, all of those colossi, even disruptors have been added now, so BYUN really has to great disruptor shots now, so he really has to spread those units against those disruptors, against the colossi. ZEST just holding his position, knowing of course that there's so many tanks in the back, perhaps allowing BYUN a little bit too much here. And finally ZEST looks like he's going to commit. The disruptor shots will be really important once again, a good disruptor shot, but it has been killed by BYUN, and all of a sudden we see 19 SAVs have been killed here by some zealots. So I believe this was the idea from ZEST, just to cripple the economy more from BYUN. BYUN dropping to 36 workers. Still BYUN with a very scary army here against ZEST. The colossi get some good connection, disruptor shot once again taking out so many units, as BYUN has to pick up, but those tanks are pretty much alive. Finally the zealots do pull here forward, but yes, so much is being still left alive by BYUN. However, those colossi in the back are not being punished, and they're dealing so much splash damage as the reinforcements are nicely pulling here forward for ZEST. Even sniped 1 medevac, so nice job here by ZEST, taking out so much of the army from BYUN, but at the same time he's also suffering. However, having more workers, as those zealots really have dealt quite a great blow here towards the economy from BYUN. We have a Ghost Academy, so some snipers will be added here by BYUN really quick, and they are much needed of course with that EMP almost much needed against the Protoss, but we do have a good position here for BYUN all of a sudden, surrounding all of those units. The reinforcements are coming forward for ZEST. There's even an Archer now in the mix. But yeah, in the end, both players will retreat as slowly but steadily. We're closing at the 20-minute mark. So nice and interesting back and forward game here with an early great game here by ZEST. A very nice aggression by him with those Stalkers. At the same time, ZEST deciding to once again expand here on the map. And let's see if BYUN, what exactly BYUN is going to be doing. Of course, producing more and more of those tanks. Even upgrading those units. 3 ghosts are also being produced. So yeah, I believe with ghosts, all of a sudden, things might change here for BYUN, as EMP is really strong against the Protoss shields. So yeah, both players clearing the way. We might see an attempt to move out by them. Tanks are much needed here for BYUN, as he's long distance mining, and he's also establishing this expansion. So both players once again played very safe, securing their expansion points. And yeah, it's still anyone's game. Of course, army was both at the same count. Worker wise, however, ZEST with so much more supply and one lone medevac is actually being snapped here, so BYUN needs to be more careful. Losing quite a great chunk of supply there, and 2 great disruptor shots. One is getting killed, the second one gets a quite good connection. And yeah, there's even another disruptor shot, so yeah, nice job here by ZEST holding BYUN at bay. But yeah, BYUN looks like he's feeling really confident. He might once again try to clear those rocks and move forward to the other expansion point here by ZEST. Let's see what their options are. ZEST still very defensively, quite a strong force. 3 disruptors here being alive for him. And yeah, let's see what exactly is going to happen here, as BYUN feeling more and more confident to move out. Some SCVs have dropped. Where exactly is happening this into this location? So a DT, I believe it was here, snapping some units, but BYUN actually now moving forward towards straight the production tabs. And luckily for him, he's going to snap 2 important units. 2 Immortals have been snapped, and this one upgrade has been cancelled. At the same time, ZEST responding immediately, taking out the expansion point here from BYUN. So nice job here by him. And yeah, ghosts are here, so 20 more SCVs have fallen, 2 probes have fallen, but DTs are here as well. As nice scan, and the DTs will bubble really quick. Let's see, this has turned all of a sudden into a base trade scenario. Some probes will fall here as well. The Colossi need to be... oh, he actually TP'd home, but the Colossi are quite exposed. Nice EMPs now being done here by BYUN. And yeah, let's see, more EMPs go out as the shields have fallen here for the Protoss. And BYUN getting a nice position all of a sudden. Not so much damage being dealt here against those Protoss units is thanks to those EMPs. Still, ZEST brings everything he has into this location. But I believe BYUN might have done it here. Yes, the army supply from ZEST has dropped to 25-23. Economic wise, he's still having the advantage. But yeah, BYUN all of a sudden just steaming here forward and snapping everything ZEST has. ZEST still staying into this location. He brings his reinforcements forward. Same can be said, however, for BYUN as well, as he's not going to stop here. He's also feeling confident to move more forward here against ZEST, and this Nexus of course is going to get sniped really quick. So nice job here by BYUN, somehow making it forward. ZEST allowing him to come back into this game. And yeah, sadly here for ZEST, I believe he's going to lose this game. Of course, he's trying to intercept some of those reinforcements. He's trying to cripple the economy a little bit more against BYUN. But yeah, BYUN having quite a strong force, even fighting with those SCVs, bringing some units here back. So even those zealots and those talkers will now get sniped at the same time. BYUN just moving forward, just snapping Nexus after Nexus. And sadly here for ZEST, he's trying to micro his heart out, but no, so much being still left here alive for BYUN. So I believe we might see the, yes indeed, the GG comes out here for ZEST. So BYUN taking game number 1. Interesting enough, ZEST allowing BYUN to come back into this game after a first early great game by him. So yeah, let's just jump straight into game number 2. And we're back with game number 2 after a very interesting game number 1 in between the 2 pro players. ZEST somehow allowing here BYUN to come back into game number 1. And yeah, BYUN of course with that steam, with those tanks nicely being positioned, getting the advantage. And yeah, sadly for ZEST, he did lose the momentum. He played very passively, very defensively, and BYUN of course punishing that, coming back really strong as a Terran with that steam. So yeah, 1-0 it is here for BYUN. Let's see what exactly is going to happen in game number 2. Is there going to be a difference into that build order? Yeah, by the looks of it, BYUN tries to hide here something, perhaps a fast expansion into this location. Let's see what his options are. Oh, he's actually hiding the barracks, so this is quite interesting. The reason for why he's doing this, just because if the probe comes here forward for ZEST, you won't see a barracks. I'm going to think, of course, that it's a proxy barracks, but yeah, it's a nice trick here for BYUN hiding this one barracks. And yeah, in comes the probe for ZEST. Let's just check his main. Pretty standard pylon into gateway and gas. And yeah, by the looks of it, as soon as he's going to walk off this ramp and not see a barracks there, he's actually seeing double refinery. He's going to very likely guess that it's going to be a proxy barrack harassment versus him, so he might try to scout his proximity there as well. So he comes forward, he sees double gas, interesting enough. Still, I believe one gas would have been enough. But yeah, just roaming around, just checking, of course, where exactly those barracks are hidden. Perhaps, yes, he's going to try out to move out with another probe. So yeah, double gas, interesting enough, into a barracks for BYUN. As the probe sees, of course, everything. And let's see if he's going to produce his first Reaper. Yes, indeed. As ZEST is taking, of course, his expansion. So there is his factory. And yeah, the probe will very likely see this really, really soon. As right now, I believe he knows that there is no proxy barracks, given the fact that there is a factory being produced here. And of course, ZEST is trying to be as annoying as possible here versus the Protoss. We see the barracks uplifted, and he's going to add a reactor really soon. So the probe, of course, being really important here for ZEST. And yeah, finally it's getting sniped by the one Reaper. Let's check the main for ZEST really quick. He's going into that expansion, having warp being done. Stalker once again. I believe he's going to try once again that Twilight Council, or perhaps he's going to try to add a Stargate with an early harassment against the economy here from BYUN. It could be, of course, a possibility. Let's see what his options are, what is actually he's opting for. Robotics facility bay, so straight robotics facility bay. He might try to add a observer early on, or he might even try to add a war prism just to have more and more control of the map, as more and more units have been added here by him. So a different build order here for the Protoss, going for robotics facility bay and not Twilight Council or Stargate. Let's see what exactly his plans are, as BYUN is also taking his expansion. Let's check his main, a 1-1-1 build order, 1 barracks into 1 factory and 1 starport. And there is his first mine that is being produced. Yeah, the Stalker is going to very likely take care of this one Reaper. And yeah, the second gateway is also being produced. Robotics facility base, still no Twilight Council, still no starport for him. Let's see what exactly is going to happen here. As 2 mines are interesting, moving out quite exposed. I'm gonna bury here just in case some units will move forward here by ZEST. They will take quite some splash damage. And yeah, Medivac is also being produced. So the pretty standard stuff. Of course, you can once again check the production tab in the upper left part, just in case I'm missing something here. So yeah, let's see. Those players playing quite defensively now, preparing their macro-oriented game. Of course, defending their expansion, adding more and more probes, more and more SCVs, as more and more Stalkers are being produced. Nice observers also being produced against those Widow mines. And yeah, let's see how things will unfold here in game number 2. They're very interesting. Game number 1, ZEST not playing so much aggressive, just like in game number 1, being more calculated, expecting of course a drop here by BYUN, having so many Stalkers, and in comes the drop actually here into the main, but the probes will immediately react towards this, as a second probe will of course move forward against this one. So an interesting try here by BYUN, but not that many orcs have been killed. And once again ZEST really fast with his reaction and sniping this third mine. So nice defense here by ZEST versus BYUN, doing a really great job here versus him. So yeah, BYUN not feeling so confident, just like in game number 1. In the end, ZEST playing more defensively and sniping the harassment here by BYUN, and even now is moving forward. Another expansion by him, so he's playing quite safe, very safe here versus BYUN. At the same time, let's see if he's going to try to snipe perhaps some of the units from BYUN. At the same time, nice spread of those observers here, just playing, like I told you, very much safe, having so much vision on the map. Even one Reaper, one Raven is moving out here, and he might even intercept this one Medivac. But yeah, BYUN nicely microing this one out. So let's see what's going to happen. Infantry is moving out here for BYUN with some tanks. I believe he's going to secure his second expansion point. The Stalkers take quite some damage. One has been sniped. So good job here by BYUN as he's slowly but steadily moving here forward versus the Stalkers from ZEST. I believe Blink has not been done yet, so ZEST tries of course to roam around to kite back and forward. Same time we see once again a dropping attempt with some auto turrets, so the auto turrets quite taking out some probes, and yet it will expire, so this Raven being quite strong here for BYUN. And yeah, let's have a look what the next steps are going to be. BYUN feeling quite confident, moving out with his army in the center of the map. ZEST expecting for him with a shield battery with some sentries, and yeah, the tanks are pushing here forward with infantry. Not that many stalkers being left, those tanks in the back really dealing quite some damage. 3 stalkers having fallen as well, and yeah, the Colossi is also quite exposed here. ZEST feels confident, but he only has 3 stalkers, 1 Colossi, and BYUN with this one Medivac nicely microing it, so ZEST already under siege very early as his reinforcements are not finally coming forward. But yeah, so many tanks are still being left alive, and yet the stalkers are going to fall left and right. The infantry is falling here as well, as some zealots had to be called here by ZEST. And yeah, this one Medivac really proving very strong and needed here for BYUN. And finally BYUN now just finishing at around the 7-minute mark. He's finishing his stim pack, so really important to have that stim pack. So quite a delayed stim pack, but in the end BYUN investing into more and more units to attack ZEST. At the same time ZEST having not that many workers here like BYUN, interesting enough. So yeah, those auto turrets here proving to be quite strong by BYUN, quite annoying, just delaying so much mining time. And yeah, that Raven also feeling really strong with 5 kills, so I believe 5 probes have been sniped here by this one Raven with auto turrets. So nice job here by BYUN, as slowly but steadily we're closing at the 10-minute mark. So let's just see what is going to happen. BYUN all of a sudden playing quite defensively, is securing his expansion points. ZEST at the same time also playing defensively. Of course he's expecting an attack here by BYUN, but yeah, no such thing yet. And we also see a nice spread of those observers out on the map here by ZEST, having so much vision. Still needs to deal with this one Raven in the air. But yeah, all of a sudden both players playing very safe. We're closing at the 10-minute mark, so both players all of a sudden preparing their macro-oriented game, just securing their expansion points. And yeah, really safe gameplay here, a waiting game here this time by both players, as more and more scans do go out. And this one Medivac needs to be careful not to get sniped here, as SERRAL having of course a small group of units here, and still those auto turrets dealing quite some damage against the economy here for ZEST. So 2 more workers have been killed. So slowly but steadily this Raven is closing into 10 kills against ZEST. And yeah, now finally we have a army move out here by BYUN feeling really confident. Let's see if this is going to work out. He has added some Marauders into his game. He even has some Vikings against those Colossi. So yeah, the Vikings can shoot of course the ground. And yeah, there's even a mortal here now for ZEST. Let's see how this is going to work out. We have a nice timing push around the 9-minute mark. Charge is being done here luckily for ZEST, as he really needs those zealots in the front versus the tanks. So yeah, such a huge army is now moving out here for BYUN. Let's see if this is going to work out. Nice spread here by ZEST, a good shield. Tanks are sieging up on the low ground. The zealots are here, but yeah, ZEST not attacking here with his other stalker force, but he's perhaps going to try to combine them somehow, trying to get a concave versus BYUN. But yeah, those tanks in the back, those 5 tanks in the back, dealing quite some strong damage. And let's see, in comes the Colossi, the stalkers. The tanks not really in range, so ZEST knows this of course. Is playing very patiently, as BYUN is moving more and more forward towards the spot, towards the production tabs here by ZEST. Still in comes the attack. The Medivacs are dropping their load, but the stalkers will take care of the Medivacs immediately. 1 gateway has been sniped. The upgrade might get sniped here as well, as ZEST playing very patiently, just waiting for his reinforcements. Of course he's going to try perhaps an attack first with zealots in the front, but yeah, in the meantime the reinforcements are also pulling forward here by BYUN. BYUN losing those Marauders sadly for him, but at the same time so many Vikings in the air. Needs to be careful not to get sniped by stalkers. So yeah, the siege is continuing here for BYUN. A nice scan against this one observer, and BYUN looking like he's really confident. Sadly for ZEST is going to lose this one. Disruptors, the Vikings are still in the air. The Stalkers try of course their best, and BYUN is now pretty much going to commit here forward with his Stimmed Marines, with his Stimmed Marauders, taking however damage from left and right here by ZEST. So BYUN once again luring here ZEST forward, force those tanks, and so much splash damage is being dealt as the reinforcements are already exactly on time here by BYUN. So much is being lost here by ZEST, but those Colossi are still alive in the back. But in the end, no one is getting even hacked. And in the end, sadly, ZEST only remaining here with a couple of Colossi and some Zealots. So the push looks like it has been completed here by BYUN. BYUN should be able to take this game once again. So sadly for ZEST, he has dropped to 19 workers, or 90 supply of an army, as he's just teleporting some Dark Templars now. Perhaps he's going to go into some Archons. Yes, indeed, Archons it is, but a little bit too late here, as BYUN still has a nice army kiting back and forward. The tanks are still strong in the back, so the tanks haven't been touched here by ZEST. And this is a huge advantage here now for the Terran player. This is just going to roam around back and forward, and yeah, just allow those tanks, just try to lure here ZEST towards a meat grinder. Yeah, those tanks in the back, really strong here against the Protoss. Also really strong against any ground units, as the reinforcements do pull here forward by ZEST, but the tanks now feel really more confident to move out. One or two might get sniped, but in the end BYUN is going to take the second game here as well. A faster game, a more aggressive game here by BYUN. Nice strategic move out at around the 9-minute mark, proving to be far too strong here against ZEST. Let's just jump straight into game number 3. We're back with game number 3 in between the two pro players. A very calculated series, a very interesting back and forward game, but in the end BYUN was proving in the first two games a little bit too strong with his infantry move out and with those tanks. So yeah, the spawning this time on 2000 atmospheres in the upper right, in the, I think it is ZEST, is currently moving out really early with his rope, and in the lower left once again in the tier it is BYUN with his standard open up supply depot. I believe it should be barracks once again. Oh no, he's actually, interesting enough, moving out with his SCV, but it's going to get intercepted by the probe. So I believe BYUN tried of course to hide once again his barracks, but this time he's going to just place it here home. So the probe getting important information here versus BYUN. Refinery is also being done, and the other probe is just going to roam around here a little bit just to have vision and just to know exactly perhaps when an army move out is going to happen. So yes, ZEST quite under pressure as BYUN leads now 2-0 this series. Yeah, that infantry with that Stim, those Marauders and those tanks in the back. Sadly ZEST not getting any connections against those tanks in the back, so yeah, he's pretty much getting, of course, obliterate those tanks are really strong. I believe the strongest units in Starcraft 2 with their splash damage. Not only Starcraft 2, but of course Starcraft Broodwar Remastered as well. And yeah, let's see what exactly is going to happen here. Let's check ZEST's build order. It's going once again for the same build order: Pylon into Gateway, Assimilator and Cybernetic Core. It would be interesting to see him go into a Stargate, perhaps with some Oracles, with some Phoenixes could be an option versus the Terrans to pick up those SCVs to cripple the economy. But yeah, I'm sure he knows what exactly he's doing. Some Tempest would be interesting, some Carriers would also be very interesting. Currently ZEST just staying loyal towards his Stalkers with Blink, and some Colossi versus the infantry. Perhaps High Templar Storm with Archons would also be an option versus the Terran. Yeah, let's see. BYUN taking his expansion. Same can be said here for ZEST. So once again, they're playing really standard, no early harassment attempts, nothing out of the ordinary yet. Upgrades do go out. The warp is being upgraded. First, the depth is also being done. And yeah, nothing yet out of the ordinary yet, as the probe is getting more and more vision here onto this map. So let's see. Actually, we see a Marauder and a Concussive Shell upgrade, so we might see BYUN doing an early harassment here. The first Marauder is out. One Marine is being added and another Marauder. So we also saw Gumiho do this rush, but he's going straight into Marauders with Concussive Shells. Of course, it's very hard to out-micro those Concussive Shells for the Protoss. Let's see if BYUN is going to feel confident to move out with his Marauders, with his Marines. The Marauder much more bigger than the Marine here, much more tankier. And yeah, more HP for him versus only 45 HP for the Marine, 125 here for the Marauder. So let's see, is it going to be a timing push here versus ZEST? Is he going to be annoying versus the Stalkers? as the second gateway is also being produced here by ZEST. And yeah, let's see, he's actually going for a Twilight Council. So just like in game number 1, he's perhaps going to try a timing push with some stalkers, with some blinking stalkers, as we have some nice glowing fishes here onto 2000 atmosphere. It's a very beautiful map, even a shark here into this location. But yeah, so many fishes here into this nice location, nicely glowing here. So very beautiful map. So let's just see what the next steps are going to be. The bunker, interestingly enough, is being finished. So BYUN perhaps expecting a more aggressive move out, and he's not so far away from the truce as Blink is about to get finished. So just like in game number 1, ZEST is going for those blinking stalkers pretty soon. Around the 6-minute mark, he might try to move out. But is there a War Prism? Of course, it's getting prepared. So much more aggressive point of view here for ZEST. This is going to add that War Prism towards BYUN really soon. Stim is also being researched much faster, and actually BYUN having a triple barracks strategy here, and now just making his first factory. So interesting strategy here by BYUN. Triple factory. Of course, in case I'm missing something, the production tab in the upper left, you can see all the buildings that are made, all the units that are being made, and the upgrades. Stim is about to get finished, so this is really crucial for the Terran to hold this upcoming attack. And yeah, there it is. Stalkers don't know about. Blink has been finished, but no War Prism to support those units. So let's see if ZEST is going to be able to snipe perhaps some units. Sadly, this lone Marine will be killed. But yeah, Stim is done. Yeah, let's see. The bunker is here, ready to defend. And yeah, so much infantry for the Terran. So ZEST has to, of course, respect that. I believe he's waiting for his Prism. No, he's actually going for an Immortal at home. So yeah, just showing his presence here, just roaming around, perhaps not allowing a army move out by BYUN, as those stalkers are really strong versus the infantry. They can attack and then just blink out of danger. So let's see, BYUN very defensively, but that Stim is done. Concussive shells are done here as well, so ZEST not really being able to punch here forward. 41 workers for BYUN, 46 for ZEST, as ZEST is going for his second expansion point. And yeah, we see the shark moving very close to those fishes now. And yeah, let's see what ZEST is going to be adding. More stalkers are being added. He might try to snap this one bunker here into this location, might try to blink here forward and perhaps just take out a reactor or two, but there's just so much infantry here by BYUN being left. And yeah, 3 barracks, a factory and a starport with reactors, so might see double medevac really soon here by BYUN. Yeah, the bunker takes some damage, but BYUN is going to repair it. The infantry is out on the map. Not that many stalkers here being left alive, but those Steam Marines also don't have any backup by any medevacs. And yeah, nice blinking out of danger, just sniping one Marine, just blinking out. So ZEST is preparing his macro game, adding once again Colossi with Immortal, just like in the previous game. But I believe he's going to go much more heavier into those Colossi, as those Colossi are quite a strong counter towards all of those Marines. He might try to snipe one Marauder here, but yeah, it's making it just life hard for BYUN to move out with his forces. At the same time, BYUN just picking up his forces here, lots and lots of Marauders with Marines, so he might try a double attack here versus ZEST, as we're closing at the 10-minute mark. So the 6-minute and 40-second mark here is the moving out point by BYUN, as his Marines will get dropped here towards this one probe. So actually BYUN looking like he's going to regroup his units in the middle of the map. He might try and attack really soon against ZEST. Let's just see ZEST having so many stalkers and so many Colossi with sentries. Might see the first engagement. Of course, ZEST tries to find the high ground. He's going to snipe one Marauder or two. We are now just feeling confident to move more and more forward. At the same time, BYUN actually expanding while he's attacking, so very wise choice by him. And at the same time retreating, but let's not forget that he still has those 2 medevacs out on the map. So this will be a very interesting point to attack. There are some Colossi, there are some Immortals here into this location, so BYUN regrouping, coming back, playing very safe. Infantry armor level 1 is also being done. Yeah, the expansion is also about to produce units to produce SCVs and minerals, so let's see, more shield batteries are being added. Of course, ZEST is expecting here an attack by BYUN, but BYUN just staying into this location, and yeah, he might try to regroup with his other forces here, just try to do a straight launch attack here towards ZEST, but ZEST having those Colossi Now even zealots with legs should be done really soon. Yeah, let's see when exactly BYUN is going to decide. Currently just roaming around, just leaving some widow mines here in the place. Yeah, he decides actually to retreat here versus ZEST. So yeah, ZEST just on the defense now, not moving out, adding some cannons, adding some shield batteries, and more units. So quite a defensive gameplay this time by ZEST, preparing his macro game, and BYUN just having more and more vision after this map. But ZEST needs to be careful. If this continues, BYUN is just going to keep on expanding, keep on gaining more and more economic advantage, even though ZEST having now 69 workers is only at 73 of an army supply as we're closing at the 10-minute mark. So yeah, the observer nicely sees all the movement here by the Terran player with his 2 task force here. So nice spread here by by ZEST with his observers. And yeah, let's see when exactly he's actually stimming here. Interesting enough, might try to scan this location, and yeah, snap his own observer. So good job here by BYUN. And yeah, very calculated game, like I told you. Both players playing very safe, very calculated. Yeah, just preparing their macro game. Just check so many gateway units here on the ground, and we might see a fleet beacon. Look at that, a fleet beacon with a Stargate. So we might see some carriers, we might see a mothership attempt here by ZEST as he's producing more and more of those disruptors. So yeah, the disruptors of course really strong against the infantry for BYUN. With those shots they can deal quite some great splash damage and cripple that infantry here for BYUN. So yeah, BYUN also playing very safe, like I told you, both players respecting each other. So much respect, so no huge engagement yet. The zealots are also much needed here for the Protoss. And yeah, still a waiting game for ZEST. We finally have passed the 10-minute mark. ZEST playing very defensively, quite strongly defensively here, as BYUN also staying his ground, just thinking about perhaps even doing a triple attack onto 3 different strategies, 3 different nexuses here. It could be a very hard to execute here by BYUN, but no, he's just roaming around. Very hard to execute, of course, a triple attack versus the 3 nexuses. And yeah, we actually see some carriers are being added here by ZEST. I believe ZEST is going to wait, of course, for those carriers, but he's almost maxed out, so not that many carriers will attempt. And yeah, he might try to kill some of his own units and just go really heavily into those carriers. Currently he's just also preparing an expansion as enhanced shockwaves have been done. The upgrade has been done here for the Terran. Sadly, I don't know what unit can it be used. Perhaps the ghosts with EMP. Perhaps this was the EMP upgrade. So enhanced shockwave has been done here for the Terran. I believe that could be the EMP. Of course, the EMP really important. Cast really important spell to have for those ghosts. Much vital here versus the Protoss. Of course, the shield will fall here, and finally there goes the EMP, and the disruptors quite disposed here for ZEST. So ZEST not paying attention. Those disruptors really a valuable unit to be taken out. Finally the reinforcements are coming forward here for ZEST, but he did lose 3 disruptors. Quite clumsy here as the EMP has been casted by those snipers versus the units from the Protoss, and I believe might even would have allowed those disruptors to get killed. And now he's finally killing some of his own units, perhaps just to punish himself, and yeah, just to add more and more of those carriers. So we have a transition into carriers. BYUN should react, of course, with many more Vikings, and there it is, Vikings strong versus Colossi, strong versus carriers, of course. And let's see, Protoss shows great EMP now once again being struck. BYUN nicely kiting back and forth. Finally we have a good engagement here. Strong forces, strong strategy by both players, and let's see what exactly their next move are going to be. Yeah, BYUN is going to very likely go really heavily into snipers, into Vikings. And yeah, Vikings strong versus carriers, like I told you, strong versus Colossi. I believe not that many Colossi are being produced. Actually, it's going heavily into those disruptors. So yeah, just to have that counter towards the infantry from BYUN. Disruptors is here the option here by ZEST. And yeah, BYUN still roaming around, still tries of course to catch ZEST off guard, but yeah, ZEST playing very close to his bases. But hold on, we actually have a stimmed marine marauder move out here. He might try to snap this one. Nexus income ZEST with his reinforcements, but at the same time BYUN might try to attack into a different location, and ZEST knows this, of course. And yeah, just BYUN just poking around left and right. Let's just see if he's going to be successful. He has so much map awareness. And yeah, finally he's going into some turrets, of course, at home, just to have that counter against those interceptors from the carriers. And actually we're going really heavily into those turrets. The turrets, of course, really strong against the carriers, against those interceptors. And yeah, let's see, both players are now just roaming around. Both players are pretty much maxed out. Nice upgrades are going out here as well for the players. Weapons 2 is also being done here for ZEST, so he's having quite a strong fleet here with those 7 carriers and stalkers on the ground. Let's see, stalkers, sentries, carriers, zealots. Quite a scary push here by ZEST. Might add some high temper storm, but hold on, we actually see some units getting dropped here. So nice drop here by BYUN, once again coming in with his task force, with his medivacs from the back, taking ZEST by surprise. ZEST just roaming around the map. But yeah, BYUN quite strong with his medivacs, showing his presence here, and he might try to once again land here, as ZEST is just trying, of course, to find those units, but those carriers aren't really that fast. Two submarines will be left behind. At the same time, BYUN just moves here forward towards the production tab. He might try to snap this one pylon and just move on, but no, he's actually going for the economy. In come the carriers, but they're really slow. BYUN needs to be careful. He needs to boost himself here out. And yeah, he's going more and more for that economy, so perhaps he's going to suicide here with a small task force, but it looks like it's all worth it, as he's going to steam up here and just snipe worker after worker. Nice job here, as we still have this shark into the next proximity with the fishes. And yeah, nice job. 15 SCVs, no, 15 probes have been killed here by BYUN, so it was a suicide mission, but it was all worth it here, as he did abuse the fact that those flying units were much faster than the carriers. The medivacs are, of course, much faster than the carriers. So yeah, let's see how things will unfold here. ZEST is now moving forward. Quite scary army, 151 supply versus 120, so you read nice upgrades here by him. Yeah, really scary army, but in come the EMPs, in come those Vikings. It's nicely guiding those Vikings back and forth, just sniping one carrier after the other. Really great EMP shocks. And yeah, still alive, so carrier after carrier has fallen here, but the stalkers are still alive. We might try to land those carriers now, even some SCVs have been pulled. So all of a sudden the army from ZEST has dropped to 130, but the same can be said here for the Terran. He also lost some casualties. So let's see, the one expansion is going to drop here really quick, as ZEST brings his reinforcements. He even has this one war prism, so he can teleport more and more of those units forward. At the same time, a small task force is just one sniper with 13 kills, so this one lone sniper killing so many of those probes, forcing even ZEST to come back with his units. And quite a tanky unit, this one sniper, taking so many shots. In the end he will get burned here by this one Colossi, but also casting that EMP shockwave first. And yeah, BYUN once again showing us the strengths of that EMP shockwave versus the Protoss, especially for the fact that those Protoss units are clumped up together. So yeah, EMP just destroying the shields from the Protosses. And yeah, let's see what's going to happen here. Nice scan, sees that expansion. BYUN plays it, of course, very defensively now, having some legionnaires. No, it's liberators. So yeah, no tanks available for him yet, just going straight into liberators, 4 liberators with some Vikings. And yes, that's just roaming around the map, trying, of course, to find a good position for him to attack, but at the same time he needs to be careful against those medivacs. But BYUN plays it now defensively, waiting, of course, for an attack, waiting, of course, for more energy for those snipers. So yeah, let's see what's going to happen. Some snipers still roam around. We might see some nuclear launches by the snipers. Let's see if this one lone sniper is just running around with no gun. Perhaps his gun is into his backpack in the back. Let's see what's going to happen here as BYUN is moving forward towards that expansion point. And yes, indeed, we do see a nuclear launch. An atomic bomb is about to get landed here into this one expansion point. At the same time, this Nexus is going to fall. ZEST once again caught off guard. Let's see, the atomic bomb is about to get landed, but yeah, ZEST nicely microing those units out of danger. So good job here by BYUN with that nuclear launch, with that atomic bomb towards ZEST, and ZEST might get a good flank, but EMP immediately getting casted. Nice flower looking like disruptor shots here versus BYUN. So ZEST with a much better position, but now he's going to walk into those liberation zones. So yeah, nice job here by both players. EMP once again keeping the Protoss at bay, dealing so much damage against the shields, but the reinforcements are nicely pouring here forward by ZEST, as he's keeping BYUN, of course, at bay at his home base. But 16 drones, 16 probes have been killed here as well. So nice job here by BYUN, crippling the economy, and once again EMP moving really strong. But ZEST is going to commit. He's moving forward with his stalkers, with his carriers in the back, dealing so much splash damage here against BYUN. So BYUN has to micro his heart out. Some reinforcements coming from the back, but they will be immediately getting out. The Vikings are still in the air. So once again, one carrier after the other is going to get sniped here, and not that many stalkers are being left alive here for ZEST, as he's just losing unit after unit. The Vikings are even attacking the Colossi now. I don't know what exactly he has now to compare forward versus BYUN. BYUN showing us a nice mix of units, and he might try to land those Vikings down. Yes, indeed, that is going to be the GG here. So BYUN taking it quite convincingly here versus ZEST, a 3-0 score. So no matter what ZEST has thrown here towards BYUN, BYUN having always the respond versus his enemy, perhaps showing us how strong the EMP shockwave is versus the Protoss. Perhaps ZEST played it way too much safe, and in the end BYUN punished this safe gameplay here by ZEST. So I believe if ZEST would have been more aggressive early on with those blinking stalkers, with the adepts, perhaps an adepts push, perhaps some oracles. We haven't seen one oracle here by ZEST. Just allowed here BYUN to prepare his macro game to add more and more SCVs and add more and more of that stimmed Marines and Marauders, and yeah, those Medivacs as well. So yeah, nice and interesting series. BYUN proving this time way too strong against ZEST. Once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this replay cast. We'll be seeing, of course, then in the next replays with many more longer games this time, many more series, as I've decided to go into a more longer casting way here. So yeah, once again, thank you guys for watching. This is your host Tommy, signing out.